Dr. Steve Nugent is the Executive Director of Complementary Health and Education for Mannatech, and he began his career in this field as a nutrition consultant in 1997. Since then, he studied and achieved 6 degrees, including 2 PhDs. He completed his associate's, bachelor's and master's degrees of an evening whilst serving as a US Marine. He's a doctor of naturopathic medicine and has a PhD in psychology. Dr. Nugent had a clinical practice for over 20 years, and people came to him from all over the world. Such was his reputation as a clinician. He's currently the President of the International Association of Complementary Medicine and President Emeritus of the American Naturopathic Medical Association. He's an expert in dietary supplements, as I'm sure many of you will realise after hearing him at his training yesterday. He's one of the most intelligent and knowledgeable men I have ever met in the field of complementary medicine. He loves Australia. He thinks Australians are great. So on top of everything else, he's also a man of impeccable taste. Please give a very, very warm welcome to Dr. Steve Nugent.
Gosh, I love it down here, I'll tell you what. This is like coming home for me. All year as I'm doing my continuous low orbit of planet Earth, I look forward to the Australasian Convention as the highlight of my year. So I'm so glad I'm here. Today I have the privilege of being able to introduce to you one of Mannatech's most important technologies in the entire history of Mannatech. And we're going to have only 20 minutes to do this, less than that now, and I need all of you to listen very, very carefully to make sure that you get all this good information, because this product will not only change your health and the health of everyone that you talk with. Now first, let's start with what was wrong. How many of you have seen newspaper articles in various cities that say, the people of our nation are getting thinner? You don't see that, do you? You see quite the opposite. In fact, really, excess body fat is becoming a major health issue in so many countries. In the United States, one of our 50 states is considering passing a law that would put a tax on body fat, because there are so many health issues that are directly related to excess body fat, and medical care systems are breaking down all over the planet. You're all aware of that, aren't you? It's our job to help people with their health. And one of those big steps is to get that excess body fat off. Because no matter how much product you take, until you are lean, you are not healthy. So in the United States, they invent the low-calorie theory in 1930. And then in 1948, U.S. scientists invent the low-fat theory. And then in 1972, doctors in the U.S. introduced the low-carbohydrate diet. And guess what? The United States is a big, fat country. 2/3 of the U.S. is overweight. 61 million people in the U.S. are grossly overweight. Let's take a look at the track record after telling people low fat is the right way to eat. What you're looking at right now is the first map from Centers of Disease Control in the U.S. And I want you to see how well low fat has done since they have introduced it. You'll watch the colors will get darker on the map, indicating there are higher percentages of people overweight. And at one point, the colors even don't just get darker, they have to change totally because the number of people getting overweight by state. Look at the years on the top of the map and watch this progress starting in 1985. Oh, low fat is working really well there, isn't it? Apparently it's really doing well in 1995. Yep, things are getting bad. In fact, the United States is getting so fat now that there are problems with the planet going into a wobble in orbit. Yep. There's one of those states where body fat's a real problem. They've had to put a new color on the map. Oops. In fact, in the United States, the country that invented low-cal diet, low-fat diet, and low-carb dieting, we are clearly not succeeding. Why? Because the theories are wrong. Here in Australasia, at the University of Sydney, New South Wales, there is research going on in low glycemic eating. That's the diet you should be on. That's the one that works. And if we could get everyone in Australasia to do it, as well as taking this new product, OsoLean, this would be the leanest, healthiest region on planet Earth by doing both. So let's talk about the answer. The answer is not losing weight. The answer is changing your ratio between your lean mass, that's muscle, and your fat mass. You want to get rid of the fat. That's all that counts. Weight is irrelevant. Well, we have a new product called OsoLean. And some say, how'd that name come about? Somebody in marketing thought, well, you'll walk up to someone and you'll say, oh, you're so lean. Well, it wasn't my choice of names, but you know what? That's the name of the product, and that's what we're going to go with. And although it doesn't work in every language, in English it doesn't work too badly, so we'll use that name. 2 double-blind, placebo-controlled studies, and then a third study, open-label study done, all 3 giving us the same data again and again and again. What does the data show? This product works. It does exactly what we say it does. And that by itself makes this different than all of the competition. Unfortunately, on the label it says whey protein. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is that's not really what this is. This is an exclusive peptide technology. Could you join me in repeating that phrase? An exclusive peptide technology. And I want all of you to think in those terms. If you think whey protein, you're going to fail. And I'll show you why in a moment. Now, whey protein is the donor protein that we take the peptides from. But the difference between whey protein and our OsoLean technology is about the same as comparing a block of granite to a Rodin sculpture. It's that different. So don't lead with the words whey protein, and I'll tell you how to explain this. You see, this exclusive peptide technology, I'm going to keep repeating that, is exclusive to Manatech.